parenting,
Hoes,
drugs,
bitches,
father figures,
bitch niggas,
mentors,
alcoholics,
people that you need in your goddamn life,
crackheads,
entrepreneur,
new crackheads,
successful business people.
ugly children. Welcome to NTS, which stands for niggas talking shit.
What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916.
Jeff Brown, NTS.
You already know.
Come on, you already know.
Hey, man, we back at it.
Yeah.
Kicking game for you guys. And, we get a lot of crazy questions coming from viewers. But, Jeff, this is a question I've been wanting to ask you.
Sure.
So you have some strong views and opinions about just racial things in regards to, America and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And I just wondered, based on that, you do have somebody close to you who's white.
Sure. A number of people.
Family members.
Family. Yeah.
And what type of conversation do you have, and do you hold them accountable for something you feel that happened in the past due to unforeseen circumstances they had no control over?
No. With regard to holding accountable, let's explore that for a minute.
And what I mean by that is when you have a conversation and you bring that up, they ain't got nothing to do with that because you don't know if they ever, we don't know, but when you say, when I say accountable, I'm meaning, do you conversate in a way that you're saying that they should feel some kind of way because of something somebody else could have done?
I don't think I ever do. I think where I am with race and present white people is I just look at it like a referee, man, and I see it for what it is.
So do you look at this individual as white people or as a person?
Oh, as a white person, I don't believe in. I believe the term "I don't see color" is an excellent opportunity to not respect it. So when I see somebody of a particular ethnicity,
wait. So to not respect it, but going back to that, then what about how many blacks don't respect each other? So that's same color. You can't.
That's apples and bowling balls.
No, I don't think so.
Dear black people who shoot each other. Dear black people who make songs about black women that ain't shit. Dear black people that's lazy on the couch. Ain't none of that got shit to do. Well, actually, inadvertently, it does have something to do. And if you give me enough time, I will always be able to point any black shortcoming back to white supremacy, because no one on this continent can give me an example of unmolested black people. Black people have never been left to heal. They've never been left alone. They've never been...
Jeff, so how do you justify the blacks who have made it, the ones who own property, ones who own businesses, the blacks in Africa who have been wiping each other out? They come to power and they kill 100,000 who look just like them.
Sure.
How are you going to blame all them? Oh, they mean the white man is so powerful? He's able to do all this and you're still giving him credit?
Sure.
I can't hold that, bro. I would not give a man that much credit.
Give me some room.
I would not give a man that much credit.
First off, that's a two-part question. So give me either part of it, and I can run it right back.
Hey, man, run it, because I tell you right now, like I said, I bet a black man who's blind who's doing better than half the black people who were goddamn went to college and who sit around smoking weed and justifying.
Certainly.
So to me, if somebody says that, the only reason they say that, if you were a multimillionaire, would you still be saying that? Because you made it, because you bursted through them. So how would you?
Sure.
You couldn't say that nobody held you back because you reached a millionaire status.
Absolutely. And because you and I know more millionaires than the average black person. I mean, think about it. Between us, how many millionaires we know?
Of course.
I cannot look at shiny the dandelions in a sea of grass. I can't look at okay, this person's black and a millionaire, that person's black and a millionaire, that person's black and a millionaire. Sure, I know plenty of them. But that does not excuse, does not wipe away the situation that the rest of my people are in. And I refuse to believe, almost done, I refuse to believe that one day A bunch of black men woke up and said, okay, fuck our families on 3. Ready? Break. I refuse to believe that crack was only put in poor neighborhoods, because if that's the case, where was it put in the Appalachian Mountains?
Dude, there's dudes where I've seen just as many people using methamphetamine as crack.
Sure.
Just as many using pills. So we're not even in the crack era no more. Nobody even smokes crack.
Sure.
So I'm talking about right now with opportunities for people to use that. My reason I say that is because when you start talking about mind and vision and what you look at and creating realities,
sure.
When they perpetuate that and it's a money grab, I'm saying because you can keep using that, then it justifies. It's almost like critical race theory, the shortcomings. Son, because you were black and this and that. Dude, that's... Your dad didn't even know nobody was in slavery.
Okay.
Or if they were even in slavery at all. So why would you keep perpetuating that? Why tell kids that, man?
Okay. I'm going to try to answer that. That's not rhetorical. You want an answer to that. One, let's go back to crack and how it's not around anymore. That's like taking a shit in the bathroom and the bathroom stank, but you say the shit gone. The residue of the shit is still here. This concept that just because crack happened then and because a president okayed it in my neighborhood, I am not excusing anybody who used it. I'm not excusing anybody who sold it. I'm not excusing anybody who excuses anybody of the aforementioned. What I refuse to do is to act like it don't exist. I did never ever said that this is an excuse for, because I couldn't explain my own life. Almost done. I would never say that it is an excuse. I've made this differentiation before. There is a difference between an excuse and a reason. And because I was born in this, because I was raised in this and understood that my thinking was different than the thinking of these people who are in this trap, it does not excuse the motherfuckers who made the trap. How can you just step over the fact that this was laid, the fact that business, black business, is intentionally undermined on a regular, every day? How can you excuse the fact that all small freeways, all small freeways, smaller than the 10 and the 5 in major cities can be traced back to having their routes put through where black people put up business? I cannot. No, it's not an excuse for Day-Day sitting on the couch. But should we just not talk about it? So
what's the answer then? So you're trying to say now, so keep talking about it.
Sure.
And so what do you want Whitey to do? What's going to make you happy?
I don't want...
So you want to move all the freeways?
I'm glad you asked me that.
So my point is that I don't give a damn. I'm black 3-time felon. Why am I going to keep rehashing that? If I keep rehashing that, I'm lowering my frequency of what I'm operating on. It's like watching the news and hearing the same negative shit. Black man got shot, this and that. But if I keep listening to that, then that's going to be set in my mind. It's a program. Just like when I've talked to a lot of black men. The guy we interviewed, a dentist, grew up in North Carolina, was smoking weed, finally decided he almost killed somebody, died about almost killing somebody over a weed deal, turned around, went to college to visit his sister, went to college, got his degree, opened up eight dental services, sold them for $13 million, came from the hood. It's like, dude, he's like, if he would have entertained all the negative, we know it exists, but I'm not going to even entertain it.
Sure.
Because it gives it power.
Absolutely.
And I don't want anybody to have power over my ability to succeed.
Of course.
And that's what I think a lot of people fail at. And they give this whole, this history or whatever they want to embark as power over them to say, this is why I can't do this. And I said, that's the biggest thing.
I need you to go back through footage. I'll give you today, because I know I didn't say it today. But I need you to go back through any footage. I need you to go back through any conversation where I have exonerated or excused shitty behavior from black people because of the oppression of white people, if you could. Can you remember me ever saying that that is an excuse? I make again, for the 86th time, the differentiation between an excuse and a reason. Adolf Hitler killed 6 million Jews. There is no excuse for that.
No.
But the cockamamie fucking reason was that he wanted to make a master race of blonde-haired, blue-eyed people, of which he was neither. One is a reason. The other is left barren because there is no excuse. I am not excusing. I can explain a great deal more than I can excuse. And what I am telling you is that it is not a mistake. And when you ask me what I want white people to do, not a goddamn thing. Here's what I want. I want black people to stand up, and it's not going to happen until I'm very old or dead, because there are too many black people that can find a way to saddle up to a fucking football game or a basketball game today. What I want is black people to unite and stop giving their shit away. So I want almost done. I want black people to unite and rally around those, because I refuse to throw away a society of people purely because they can't make their way out of this shit, and I did. I'm not gonna do it, and I'm glad to be wrong about it. I hope I'm wrong about it, because I'm gonna go to my grave wrong about the following: that we have no idea what black people are unmolested, because black people on this continent.
Where have they not been molested? Anybody? Tell me in Africa. Name one country.
Absolutely, I can tell you one.
Country. Where?
A continent
where they haven't had just black.
Absolutely.
Where?
A continent by the name of Kemet. That was the name of Africa before the ruler Africanus. There was a time back when white folks couldn't speak, back before the first white man ever looked out a window or shit over his shoe, that black people ran everything.
So would you feel more comfortable if so you're saying with your movement, if you weren't black then, and you, like you said, you got a relative who's not black, or this person, do you feel like those aren't part of your brother? Because they're not this skin tone, they're not part of your people?
That's a big leap. I don't know how you got there, but
I'm just saying, my brother and sister is half white, so I never have had a conversation with them about racism. But I'm saying, if I had Asian guys that I messed with in the pen,
sure,
Belizean, Korean.
You got okay. By the way, parenthetically, if you Asian and in jail, what the fuck? Okay, go ahead.
Korean, mixed, biracial, sure. But I'm saying those were my people. Now, a lot of blacks used to get mad, like, oh, Herc be kicking it. He got a Mexican celly, blah, blah, blah. Dude, we think alike. We have the same goals and objectives.
Absolutely.
So I've seen a lot of people that look like me that would love to see me fall. But because they didn't want to get faded, they kind of thought twice. But I'm saying, I'm not going to eliminate the potential for a guy that looks like he's white or Mexican or Asian to help me. Because help comes from, no, but you're saying if it's black, I'm saying, don't you think to the universe, what you're projecting, maybe you're actually putting up a block in the universe for people who don't look like you, the same hue tone, to do business with you because of what you're projecting? Do you know how energy works like that?
Sure. And if that were the case, there are a number of things that I do in business that I wouldn't be doing. We'll start there. Number two, I'm a United States Marine. Bruh, when I went in boot camp, I got this lesson. The first night, my senior drill instructor goes, okay, give me my WAPs over here, my Dagos over here, my kikes over here, my spics here, and my niggas there. Move! And everybody kind of thought where he was talking about. He said, you are all dead wrong. You are all equally worthless, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit that if your parents had any real money, you wouldn't be here right now. We put you all together and treat you like shit. This is not what he said, but this is what happened, which bonds you. And there is a very good opportunity, there's a very good chance that you may get in a war with this dude right next to you who grew up in Kentucky, and you may have to save his life, and he may have to save yours. And the bond there was not color. The bond was poverty.
Well, you took it out my mouth then. By you just saying what you said, why would you project the other?
Because what you are comparing is apples and bowling balls.
No, you're in war. You're in war. We're at war right now with economics and people trying to come up.
Sure.
So why not have the best of the best, no matter what their race, besides you fighting?
Absolutely. Now, what does that have to do? What in the hell?
Because you're still saying my people, bro, and you don't know what your people, you're saying your people, and you're saying black, but then you're putting a label on something, which it's like you told me earlier, there was no distinction, black, there was no even color until the 1500s when they started actually making a distinction, so people could start actually looking like, wow, you mean to tell me I'm better than this? Yeah, he's a black, you're better than him. And then it became a disparity where opportunities and stuff presented itself for one because you're in the caste now system, and the other had a benefit. So I'm saying by them in creating that and we seeing that, why would I even entertain that? Because I know that everything they've done, history, Africa, the Watusis, the killing stuff, it's all happened, and there's been travesties in every parts of the world.
Yeah.
Jews, blacks, everybody.
Sure.
But moving forward, I'm saying that what I've learned and what's helped me, and the reason I like having these conversations is to stimulate this type of conversation, is because you have been in the military and you were around a lot of different minorities and different people, and therefore having had the experience and coming out now, and you've achieved a high level of business success. Therefore, your perspective is more worldly. You've been all around the world.
Twice.
So having done that, that's what I'm saying. Coming from your mouth, when kids are out there, because a kid came up to me in the gym one time, and he's like, "Oh, Big Herc, man, I remember you said in one of your videos you had a Mexican celly. I'll never be in a celly with a Mexican." I said, "Why not?" I said, "I don't want you to go to jail anyways, but why would you have a problem if you had even a Mexican roommate on the street?" "Oh, man, because I don't get out like." I said, who taught you that? And that's because of what's being perpetuated, the ignorance. Us and the Mexicans have no beef.
Okay.
We have no beef, but we keep separating.
No idea.
And it's,
bruh.
No,
we are talking about candy, but I thought we were talking about Snickers. Now we over in a payday. I have never, what? Bruh, George Lopez used to manage me.
I'm saying,
I cut my teeth when black clubs used to boo me off stage. I learned to do comedy in front of Mexican people. I am not saying that I have to hate or ostracize myself from anyone else in order to love my people. The niggas on 60th and Damon, the niggas on 78th and Prairie, the niggas on Pulaski and Flournoy. Those of you who come from Midwest towns or South towns or any of the 10 or so towns that have cities that have black people in them who are the direct descendants of slaves, y'all, and not as many of you as you think, are the descendants of slaves.
Exactly. A lot of them are free men.
Please read They Came from Columbus by Ivan Van Sertima. However, what I'm speaking about is the people who are not mistaken for Puerto Rican by white folks that look like me. I am talking about the no-look pass. I am talking about the alley-oop. I am talking about the 80-yard return. I am talking about the rhythm that is in a toddler that you can't find in an old white man. I am talking about those people. I am talking about my melanin. I am talking about the descendants of sovereign people on this land.
Can I ask you one question?
Almost done. I am not discussing the word black. Because to be honest with you, black is a color. It is a color that separates you from your rights to this land. You were here before the Feather Indians. Yes, I am black, Cherokee Indian, and Irish. If you look real close, I got black skin on white features. Look real close. Thin nose, not that big of lips, big old, that's a white man's face with black skin on it. I'm not discussing that. What I am saying is that there has been a purposeful, systematic keeping from of resource and access that I and others like me have run a gauntlet to get around and over, and to say that that doesn't exist because I succeeded is bullshit of the first order. That's what I'm saying, and I'm not saying shit else. I don't mean shit else. I don't mean I don't like white people. That's crazy.
Well,
I don't do business with other people. That's bananas. How did I get to the point that I do the kind of business? Oh, I got to talk to you about this thing. Oh, yeah, we got to talk. There is no way. There is no way that I could go into parties and have white people piss me off with the "you talk so proper," as if my people didn't teach your people how to speak. Of course, I deal with white people and people of all colors on a regular basis. However, I am proud of and aware of systems, ideas, and concepts that motherfuckers behind closed doors, sat down and calculated to fuck with people on 60th and Damon. That's what I am aware of, and I'll be dipped in shit before I back off of that.
Well said. Well said. Like I said, my main question was like you said, going back with your relative who white. Like I said, I don't really have those discussions. But
my brother-in-law.
There's a lot of. I'm just saying, like I grew up in a certain part of town, but there's a lot of dudes. I wouldn't do nothing for them. Dudes, they don't. They would hold me. It wouldn't even be worth it, man.
Are you trying to get me to co-sign for horrible niggas? No, I got a family full of niggas. If somebody told me, Jeff, Day on your mama couch, I'm calling Mike. Mike, send some niggas over my mama house. Because Day ain't got no business on my mama couch. Either something finna come up missing or he finna hit my mom in the head. I got a bunch of niggas like that. However, to say that these people just out of nowhere arrived at these desperate situations with the concept of lack, crime doesn't follow color. Crime follows opportunity and the lack thereof. That's a fact. There's no such thing as black on black crime. You kill the motherfuckers you live around. If you want niggas to start killing other people, give them more gas money. They'll drive over and kill some other people. You kill the people you around.
No, because the whole thing is it's like when you look at certain people's mannerisms and they try to change up or they act a certain way around a certain demographic.
Okay.
And then they get over here and they want to act another way.
Code switching.
Exactly. So I'm just saying because like. I'm quite sure I've had people in my family who never had any dealings with the law. Mm-hmm. And therefore, like, me having gotten in trouble was a shock. So what I'm saying is basically going back to what we talked about at the end of the day, I feel like when I say, because some people say, oh, Big Herc, you don't care about black people because you're not with the...
Bullshit.
It's like, dude, it's not even about that, because if I didn't care, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing and being an example to show others that, man, you don't have to be what they project out there.
Absolutely.
Because there's great black households, there's 2-family households that have, both parents work, they're not crackheads, they didn't sell dope, they didn't rob. Not everybody came from a criminal background.
There were more Huxtables than you were led to believe. And all of us didn't live good times.
Yes.
Absolute fact.
And so that's what I just go back to. And the only reason I said that about the conversation with your family members, because like I said, is moving forward into the future and having conversations and trying to lace these youngsters up is that, don't close doors before they're open. And a lot of times when you come in with a certain type of mentality thinking, oh man, this and that, you're sitting right next to a guy and this guy's an engineer and you're trying to come up with this, but you're talking about this and he's looking at it like, dude, you don't already said that you don't like me and you don't know me. And so you're creating already obstacles before you've even created opportunity.
Okay.
So you got to always be aware to know for other young people that, man, you never know who you're going to build a network with. And a lot of times they might not look like you and you can find opportunity. Certainly. Not to say they can look like
Certainly.
you, but you can find opportunity.
More than likely with 98% of the nation's wealth in white hands, you're going to have to deal with white people. When number 2, when you spend your money smart, you spend your money white. You got to factor that in. 2, let's do away with the dirty 4-letter word like. White folks will hate each other and still do business together. This is not about like. I don't have to like you. What has to happen is that black people need to get to a point that they understand that we are enough. We are enough. And this is not to say that you do not do business with other people. But what we should be, in the words of another cat by the name of Umar Johnson, we're not a melting pot. We're a salad. When you put everything in a salad, a carrot still stays a carrot. A raisin, if you put that in there, still stays a raisin. Tomato, a tomato. Onion, an onion. Why do we have to melt together and assimilate to be something else other than what we are? Why is it that somehow our culture is robbed from and simultaneously diminished? Why? Nobody wants to answer those questions. I answer it with this. This is the last generation. About the time, if I live, I'm 56. If I live to be 112, I'm halfway through. I'm really trying to get there. It's not going to be my generation. It's not going to be anybody who can remember Al Sharpton who does this. But there is going to come a generation.
He was a rat.
Oh, that fucking leather lollipop. I can't stand him. Anyway, and that's what I'm talking about. The Al Sharptons of the world. The Jesse Jacksons of the world.
Yeah.
The bullshit politicians of the world who have fucked us over. The Democrats who have fucked us over for decades. At some point, there will be a crop of black children that you will not have to convince that it doesn't make sense to be 90% of a league and you don't own it. You ain't gonna even have to talk to them about that. Yeah. You're not gonna have to talk to them about the importance of recycling their own money amongst their own. This won't even be a subject. But while it is, it's because you Jasper-ass shade tree house coons can find a way to diminish what you have while looking at something else as the pinnacle. When really, if you check yourself, you only want that shit because you saw some white folks with it. How much shit do you have that you wanted because you want it? And this is not to say that you are out of pocket for wanting extravagant things. You come from kings and queens. And I like to say that about some of us. Not all of us didn't come from kings and queens. You motherfuckers whose rims cost more than your car, your family carried the sand. There's a differentiation. Yes, it's some fucking black knuckle draggers out there. And I'm not excusing you. If you can find a way to play video games all day and it never comes to your mind that maybe you could make a video game or code a video game or voice over a video game or sell a video game or produce a video game, and all you do is play a video game, if you got a bunch of Jordans that you didn't buy to sell for more money, motherfucker, I'm talking to you. Fuck you. I'm not talking about you. I am talking about the situation that you were made that was custom built for low frequency motherfuckers like you. I was in that low frequency environment. I vibrated higher and got out of it. But I submit to you as you watch me and as you say that Jeff Brown just believes that shit and Jeff Brown is full of shit. Fuck you and your mom. I'm saying that I vibrated and got out, but there were plenty of brothers I can name you that are dead, that vibrated on the same frequency that I did, that had they vibrated on that frequency 5 miles away from me, outside of this petri dish of lack that they were put in, that was systematically made for them to stay, I'm not going to ignore that. And I am not going to say that everybody is there because they ain't shit. That's bullshit. I don't believe it, and I will never say that, ever. Because I grew up in it. I picked a roach out some cereal and ate it with water for dinner. I went to school for semesters stinking because we didn't have the money for hot water. You're not going to tell me about how hard it wasn't and what I didn't go through and how I live now that I didn't bust my fucking ass to get. But I had to bust my ass to get out of a gauntlet that was made for me to fail. And I will not back off of that. That is bullshit. It is there, it does exist, and it is a factor. Is it an excuse? No, but it's a fucking factor. I can excuse the fact that where we came to shoot today, it's winding and curvy. It's dangerous. At night, in the dark, you could go off an edge or run over somebody. Those aren't excuses for me to stay in this building. They are factors for me to use when I leave. And that is how I feel about white folks, black folks, and racism. That shit exists and I didn't invent it.
There you have it. NTF.
You already know.